So with this lesson, we're getting into division. And division is the same as multiplication. It's just backwards multiplication, just sort of in the same way subtraction can be solved by using addition as well. So meanings of division. When we are dividing, we are always given the answer to a multiplication sentence. So if I have 3 times blank equals 15, to solve that, I would have to do 15 divided by 3, right? That's basically what it's asking me to do. So I have to be able to figure out that 15 divided by 3 equals 5. So when I'm dividing, let's say here's a word problem. A museum wants to display a collection of 24 gems on 4 shelves. Placing the same number of gems on each shelf. How many gems will be on each shelf? The key here, when you're reading a word problem about this, is recognizing that the number they're giving you is the total amount. So you might see words like, Mary has a total of 36 shells. Or Mary has 36 shells in all. So division always gives you, it gives you the total amount first, the total number, and it's always asking you to put them in groups. And those groups can be anything from shelves, vases, bags, anything. So when they're telling you to divide, when you're reading a word problem, it will always say a larger number. You'll never hear Mary has 3 marbles and she wants to put them into groups. You won't see that kind of division problems, really. And if you do, you say thank you for a nice simple one. So if I'm given, she has a collection of 24 gems, that's meaning I have 24 in all. And she's placing them on 4 shelves. So I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4. There are my 4 shelves. So what this is asking me to do is 24 divided by 4. Now I can go about this 2 separate ways. I can go 24 divided by 4 is, and just answer it. Or if I'm not quite sure, I can start counting and just make a dot on each box until I get to 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That takes a long time. But if it's one of those days where your brain is just like, nope, then counting might be your best choice for that day. We all have those days, so it's okay. The other way you can see it is, well, what times 4 equals 24? That's another way to help you. So you can count, you can multiply, or you can just do the division straight up if you know it. What times 4 is 24? 6. So there will be 6 gems on each shelf. And that's really it. When you're dividing, making a picture like this can really help. And you will see this type of picture a lot in tests. So let's look at number 1. You put 18 people into 3 rows. What is my total amount? 18. How many rows do I have? 3. Okay, here's 1 row, here's 2 rows, here's 3 rows. Those are my groups. I've made 3 groups. To solve, I basically need to figure out what 18 divided by 3 equals. The other way around is 3 times what is 18? 3 times what is 18? If I'm still unsure, that's just not going into my head, I can skip count. I can count in here. I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I have lots of options. 3 times what is 18? 6. And then I put 6 in my box. Okay, let's look at number 2. Rocco is putting 14 drawings into 2 art binders. How many drawings are in each binder? How many do I have in all? 14. Tip there is always look for the biggest number. How many groups do I have? How many binders? 2 binders. This is literally asking me to do 14 divided by 2. Or 2 times what is 14? And 7. That one comes to me a little bit quicker. I'm confident in my 2s. So really, this is going to be helpful in seeing it. If I was given this number, and then I saw this picture here, what is that telling me? What is this picture telling me? What's it telling me?
Oh, 16 divided by 4.
Okay.
All times blank equals 16.
So it's telling me that I have 16 in all of something, and that I've got 4 empty groups that it needs to go in. So 16 divided by 4, which is 4, because 4 times 4 is 16. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty straightforward. Now, here's something that you probably haven't seen yet. Let's look at number 6 together. And let's look at this picture. Meg has 36 beads. Each bracelet has 9 beads. How many bracelets does she have? Oh, well, this isn't telling me to put it in groups. This is telling me how many are in each group. So to explain that, let's go back to number 1, where we have 18 divided by 3. The other way to do this would be to have 18 on top, to have no boxes underneath, but to have the number 6 in one box, and then an arrow. When I have this, that means I have 18 in all. I've got 6 in one group. That means 6 is going to be in every group. How many groups will there be? So now I'm actually going to be doing 18 divided by 6. Now I've already solved it this way over here. So now I'm just making a fact family. If 18 divided by 3 is 6, 18 divided by 6 is 3, right? Because everything can be flip-flopped and it's still the same. So when you see this, you're still doing division. You're just now figuring out how many boxes there are. Okay? So it's a little bit different, and when you see that, that can probably be a little bit confusing at first. Same thing with number 2. I would still have my 14 on top, but then I would only have a 7 in one box and then an arrow, asking me to say how many boxes are there with a 7 in it. So if I look at number 3, I know that 16 and placed into 4 groups is 4 in each group. Now in this case, it's going to still look the same. I'll have 16 in all. I'll have a 4 underneath it, and then I'll have an arrow. Because again, this is asking me to find 16 divided by 4. So even when you see the picture with the arrow, it's still asking you to do division. It's just asking you to do it the other way around, unless it's a doubles fact. So for number 1, we did 18 divided by 3 because I was told I have 18 in all and 3 boxes to sort it into. But if I were told that I have 18 in all and I need to put 6 in each box, how many boxes do I need? Then I'm still dividing. I'm just finding a different container for it to go in. So sometimes it will give you the total number and ask to put them in groups. Other times it will give the total number. And it will ask you to figure out how many groups. It will give you how many are in each group. You're still doing division either way. Okay? So what we're going to do on your own is the independent practice. Sometimes there's a picture, sometimes there's not. If you see a picture, that gives you everything you need to solve. If you see a picture, that gives you every single thing that you need to solve this problem. Knowing that it's division. Because if it's a big number on top, it's automatically division. If I were to have something that looked like this, let's just say, this, and there's usually going to be a question mark on top, that means multiplication. Because I have my groups, I have how many are in each groups, and now I need to find the total amount. So when a number is on top, it immediately means division. Immediately. So when you're seeing these pictures, and there are question marks in the boxes, or there are a 1 box and an arrow, division. You're either counting the boxes to divide it, or you're looking at the number to divide it. That's it. Okay? So these little tricks are going to really help you out. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Sweet.